What's up, guys? My name is Justin, and welcome to episode 42 of Justin's Chats. And I must be 9 years old because I have a Go-Gurt. So I'm gonna be like nonchalantly doing this like the whole time because I'm 9 years old because I don't care anymore because college. Anyways, today we're doing a little bit something different. Obviously, I'm gonna talk about life, what's going on that basically revolves around Cheyenne, Lexi, and Joel. That's all I've done for the last like week or week and a half is hang out with those three people. So I'll get to that. And then a couple people asked me earlier, I think I got about 4 or 5 questions from people on Instagram. Put up a poll. A bunch of people saw it, but nobody really cared. So I did get a couple questions, though. So I'm going to answer those, and some of them are kind of weird. But anyway, so this week, it's Friday, obviously. I'm actually getting back doing these on Fridays. Maybe this isn't my best idea. I usually don't record right here, and this light might be, like, in my face. That's okay. Anyways, so I went to the store today, and I didn't buy any chocolate. Like, I'm proud of myself. Like, I told myself I was going to, like, even though it's basketball off season, since I'm not playing fourth block, I was like, alright, we're only going to eat, like, 15 Oreos a day instead of, like, 100. And it's tricky when you have CF, because I have to find a way to get, like, 5,000 calories in, right? So that's not going to work eating, like, apples. Like, you know how many freaking apples 5,000 calories in? It's a ton. Like, millions of apples. But anyways, so, like, I have to eat, like, some amount of unhealthy food. Like, whether that be ramen or, you know, SpaghettiOs or whatever. It just has to be that way. But I try to eat as well as I can, obviously, and then during the season, obviously, I try to eat even better than that, you know, just for being in shape as well as possible. Yeah, but I got a lot of stuff done today. We had a group meeting for one of my projects, went well, even though we moved the time like 10 times, but so, went to the store, it was all good. That's where I got these Go-Gurts. I haven't had Go-Gurts in like 7 years at least, so that was cool. Yeah, but I needed to see Joel, because I bought him 2 drinks, because he asked for them while I was at the store, because he's doing something else. I got to see Lexi a bunch this week, so that was fun. Thank you, Lexi. I got to see Cheyenne twice. That was cool. We went bowling like last Saturday maybe because campus had some Wi-Fi thing going on. So I was like, well, there's no point in me being here. So we went bowling, talked about life. It was good. Good to see her. And then Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't remember which, we went used car shopping because her car has been broken and she had no way to get anywhere and was having to rely on rides from people and had to call into work a couple times, etc. So we went used car shopping. We went to Chevrolet place, a random place that was really sketchy, so we left there as fast as possible. And a Toyota place. So like I'm biased. I thought Prius would be great. You know, you can find like a 10-year-old Prius and it'll have, you know, 100,000 miles or something, but you could probably get it for like 6 or 7 grand. But she was looking at a Chevy Cruze, so, you know, remains to be seen what she will end up with, but she's working hard, obviously, saving money, working towards that, so that was cool. Good to see her, of course. Yeah, that's what's up. Just more usual here, you know. This weekend, a lot of homework. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. We got like 5 weeks left. A lot of my stuff is going well. I think I got 3 A's right now and 2 B's. So we're working on it. We're figuring out. We're gonna be iffy on those, but you know, it's just about staying committed, staying focused. Not too much extracurricular, you know, basketball. I haven't really played in a while. It's been kind of crappy outside, and I've just been busy catching up on homework and stuff from spring break, getting ahead again, so it's been alright, but I'll get back to the gym. It'll be good. I don't know how you're supposed to eat a Go-Gurt. Are you supposed to squeeze it on, or are you supposed to put your mouth around it? Someone let me know in the comments how you're supposed to eat Go-Gurt, if there is a way you're supposed to eat Go-Gurt. Anyways, thank you, Rhiannon, by the way, for subscribing last week. That was appreciative, even though I thought you'd subscribed a while ago, but that's okay. Anyways, so questions. I believe the first one, I'm doing this from memory. The first one was from Allie. Thank you, Allie, for being the first one jumping on. She asked, what's it like to live with CF in public after the movie, 5 Feet Apart? I assume she saw one of my videos, or maybe she just knows I have CF. I don't actually know her that well. Anyways, thank you, Allie, for asking the question. It hasn't really changed. The only thing I would say change is that people don't realize when they say something on Facebook or in public or whatever about the movie or about CF that, like, I pick up on it now. I hear it, right? They'll be like, oh, I went and saw 5 Feet Apart and thought this. And not realizing that I'm standing right there or whatever, or not realizing that I have CF, whatever the case may be. And I'm hearing people talk about it, and it's just cool that it's in the mainstream. They're talking more about the movie than CF, obviously. Because, again, it was a Hollywoodized, modernized, whatever, love story, basically, with CF as a backstory. I explained that in my 2 previous videos, so go watch those if you haven't. Obviously, there's spoilers in there. If you haven't seen the movie, don't watch them, because I talk a little bit about it, obviously, to get the point across. It's just been different, because people are talking about CF. It's cool. It's weird. No, I don't want to say weird like in a bad way. It's just weird because I never thought we'd be at that point. It's weird to be like, yeah, part of my life and what I go through is a movie. Like that's kind of weird. Like I have a connection to that. That's cool. But so yeah, I appreciate the question. I don't want to say a lot's really changed, but occasionally, like I said, people are talking about it, saying something, and it's just a little bit different as far as responding to that or hearing it in public every day. The second question was from Lexi. I asked her to drop a Q, and she said Q. So, Lexi, to your Q, I raise you to a R. Vic asked if we can go on a trip to Wyoming. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to break some news, Vic, so I apologize. Vic and I are trying to go to the Gateway. What is that weekend, Vic? It's trucks, NASCAR trucks, and ARCA, and probably something else. It's in, like, the middle of June. So we're trying to go to that. And I'm not entirely sure why you'd want to go to Wyoming. I kind of think Wyoming's in the middle of nowhere. I'll tell a backstory on my thoughts of, like, Wyoming. So, like, 7 years ago when my parents and my brother and I were in Phoenix visiting my grandparents, one of the several times, of course, we decided we were going to hit the Grand Canyon. Never been, cool to see it, whatever. So we went and hit the Grand Canyon, and it was cool, but, like, I'm not a huge fan of nature, like, as a sightseer to begin with. Like, I don't need to go hiking for hundreds of miles on trails or, like, tree watching or anything like that. Like, trees are trees, rocks are rocks. So the Grand Canyon was really cool. Don't get me wrong. It was a magnificent... I can English, apparently. Jeez. It was a magnificent thing to see. It was cool to be able to be there. Ryan got really... I don't know if it was, like, motion sick or height sick. Like, he's not scared of heights, like, at all. You know, like, he does roller coasters and he sits on ledges of, like, buildings and stuff. And he'd probably hang off of the... Empire State Building if we ever went there or whatever. I can't, like, walk down open stairs or anything like that. And, like, at the Grand Canyon, obviously, we weren't, like, right up on the edge. Like, you can be in some parts, but, I mean, those people are nuts, and that would never be me anyways. But, I mean, like, we were just walking on the trail that was, like, 15 or 20 feet from, like, the cliff rock edge. I can English again. And he was, like, looking over or whatever, and he got really sick, like, totally messed up his head. So that was kind of weird. But it was cool. But I don't ever need to go again. Maybe I'll go with, like, my kids or something someday. But to get them to see it. But it's not something I value. So, I don't have any interest in going to, like, the Dakotas and seeing, like, Mount Rushmore or anything like that. Like, there are pictures that I'm not interested in that kind of thing. So if you really want to go to Wyoming, Vic, what we're gonna do is we're gonna rent, like, a really nice car. Like, we're gonna rent a Ferrari or something. Or we're not taking Scooter to Wyoming. Scooter will die. But we're going to take, like, a really nice car. Or maybe after I get my Corvette, we'll take that. And we're going to go have fun. We're going to, like, race people on the road and stuff. And drive in the middle of nowhere, like, 100 miles an hour. Because we're not going to see frickin' rocks. So if that's what your question was, no, we're not going to Wyoming for that purpose. Mikey, thank you, Mikey, through Vic's thing, asked, what do I think is the worst car that's ever made? Or ever been made, I should say. The worst car that's ever been made. See, I'm tempted to say the Pontiac Aztek, just because all around it was like a useless car. It was freaking hideous. Same with the Nissan Juke, which is a joke to Ryan and I, the Nissan Joke, every time we see one. Because that's another car that's just amazingly hideous. I don't understand. Whoever designed that must have drawn it upside down and then just flipped it over or something and been like, yeah, that looks fine. I want to say the Pontiac Aztek, because again, nobody got one. And it wasn't a performance car. It wasn't a great SUV. It didn't have great gas mileage. Like, there was nothing, like, good about it. And that's kind of why it's, like, infamous now. Like, you see one, you're like, oh, Pontiac Aztek. It's not like a Honda Accord or whatever. You see one, don't pay any attention to it because everybody has Hondas and Camrys and whatever. It's like, it's so bad that it's, like, notable. That's like a level of bad. And the Joke hasn't quite reached that yet. Or may never. I don't really know. It's kind of like the, like a Ford Pinto or the hell was the car? Unsafe at any speed in the book. Chevrolet something or another. The one that had the gas tank in the rear that kept blowing up. Doesn't matter. But, like, those cars are just, like, infamous because they're, like, horrible. Not because they're good, not because they did anything special. Like, the Trans Am in, what's it called? Smokey and the Bandit. Like, that was not a very good car. It was not a fast car. It was not a performance car. Those 70s and 80s Trans Am / Camaros. Cheyenne's going to get upset for me saying this. They weren't actually that good of cars. Like, they were cool, and they were cool to look at, and you can make them cool and make them fast. But I remember correctly, that car had like 200 horsepower and did like 130. Like that's not like they portrayed it in the movie as like Porsche-esque or Ferrari-esque or Corvette-esque, and it just isn't. So the Aztek, I want to say, it's infamous because it's a terrible car, like all around. It's not even a car; it's like an SUV, a failure of an SUV. However, for my iRacing friends, of which Mikey is one, I'm tempted to say the Pontiac Solstice because everybody that knows me knows I am a Solstice addict when it comes to iRacing, and it is my go-to thing whenever I'm struggling. Like that's just what I do. It's my go-to car. I don't know why. It's painfully slow. It's the slowest thing iRacing has in the whole world by a long shot. It's boring, not exciting. Anybody can do it, but not everybody can do it fast. And that's the key. That's why I love it. So if I had to say like actual cars, I'm going to say the Pontiac Aztek just because it was trash in every way. But those of you that know me well are going to make fun of me and say the Solstice. So there you go. And the last one I got was from Yusuf, just like right before I started recording this. So thank you, Yusuf, for chiming in. He said, how do you feel about losing the FTSS championship? So quick backstory. The league I run on iRacing is called FTSS Fun Truck Super Series. The point is to have fun. So we have like stupid rules. You get bonus points for like starting and like going the wrong way, like in reverse, backwards, and then like having to flip around and go. You get points for like cheating, basically. So it's kind of wild, but we have fun with it. How do I feel about losing the championship? So right now, I think we got Texas, we got excuse me, I almost said two Darlingtons, two Talladegas and Darlington, and Yusuf and I are in there for a dash for cash at Dega 2, by the way, if you didn't see my tweet, Yusuf. How do I feel about it? I am proud of what I've done this year, regardless, and I know some things haven't exactly gone well, obviously, with the split from SWA and the elite stuff that's going on. It hasn't been our best season, I'll admit that. But I feel confident. I feel confident in Yusuf, and I look forward to racing with you and Vic for the championship these last 3 weeks, 4 races. It's going to be exciting. I think that I can run well enough at Texas and Darlington to be okay, but obviously 2 Talladegas are massive wild cards. So a lot can happen, I'm sure of it, but I'm looking forward to it. And if you beat me and come up, I am all for it. I'm totally cool with that because I've run well enough to put myself in a position to have a shot at it. And if I don't capitalize on that, at least these last 3 weeks, then so be it. And for a lot of the season, I thought it was Vic that was going to run really well, but Martinsville and Richmond, specifically Martinsville, didn't really go that well for him. So he lost some of those points there. But it's still tight for us top 3. I enjoyed the competition. I look forward to it, and I hope that you look forward to it as well and enjoy it. And Texas is going to be a little bit nuts. That set is still kind of, it's good, but it's not the best set I've ever made. It's not Richmond good, it's not Martinsville good, and so on. So we'll have to just kind of wing it there. But obviously, the 2 Talladegas are going to be crazy wild cards. And finally, I'd like to talk a little bit about plans for this summer for myself, things that are going on. Obviously, I mentioned a little bit ago, Vic and I are trying to go on a trip, trying to plan that. I'd like to do something cool with Ryan, and I'll get to that in a second because that's going to be a little bit complicated because I'm hoping to get an internship at Kimberly-Clark. There are a couple internships that have been offered by the school that I have from Pat Elbers. Thank you, Pat. You'll never see this, but she's one of the coordinators in the business school, the business department. So thanks to her for getting me hooked up with some of those internships, but the one I am looking for is Kimberly-Clark. Just because it's a notable company, get my foot in the door, hopefully enter the marketing department or something next year. But I would like to do something with Ryan. So Ryan, if you watch these, I don't think you watch all of them. Excuse me, but maybe I'll have to text you to watch this one. I don't really know what I want to do. I'm going to try to go to WIR more. I'm going to try to go with Cheyenne. I'm going to try to go with Ryan. I'm going to try to go with my parents, specifically my mom, since she didn't come last year. Nice job, Mom. She forgot about it and went to work. Nice job. I don't know how you forget about the short track race that I was bragging about for weeks. But anyways, nonetheless, I digress. I'd like to do something cool with Ryan, even if that's a trip, if we go to an amusement park, if we go, I don't know. I'd like to do something cool with Ryan, because, next year's going to be my senior year of college, obviously. I'm going to be hella busy, and after that's my life. Next year's his senior year of high school. He's going to be hella busy. After that is college, and I don't know where he's going. It might be ASU, so that's far away. I'm not going to get to see him often, although I'm going to have to find a way to make trips out there. Preparing for my life, jobs, grad school, etc. So I'd like to do something cool with Ryan, so if you ever have any ideas of something to do with your younger brother who doesn't really like stuff, let me know. But that's all I got for this week. Thank you for everyone that sent in questions. Ryan, let's hang out. Lexi, Joel, Cheyenne, thank you for hanging out. Let's keep hanging out. It's been great, having fun. It's been a great year. We're winding down to the end of it. Gonna get some more Go-Gurts. Go support Go-Gurt Company. I don't even know who these are made by. Somebody. Till next week, this has been episode 42. Bye-bye.